Welcome everyone to another Empires and Puzzles Books interview video. We have a very interesting player to talk to today. She goes by Dee. Her player name is Dunn, and we're going to get into some of the things that make her a pretty interesting player. But without further ado, Dee, you want to just introduce yourself a little about maybe where you're from, how you got started in the game, and why your name is Dunn?
Hello. Yeah, basically, I started playing in June 2017, and when it comes to my nickname, Don, basically, when I opened the game for the first time, and there was this enter your name page, and there was the button Don below it. So yeah, I was just too lazy to make up a nice nickname and to just throw it down. At least it's not cancel.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, that works.
Yeah, when I joined the forum, I decided not to go by the name Don because it would be quite confusing, not knowing whether people are talking to me or they're just saying something like I have done this and this. But yeah.
So on the Small Giant forums, your moniker on there is the DDI.
Yeah.
With some characters in it. So you can find her on the Small Giant forums. Now, I'm going to get into a little bit here about what makes you a kind of a unique player. So Dee, first of all, she's obviously been playing since June of 2017. If I recall, the game was released in March. So she was in on the ground floor, right? Like the game was just out. How did you find the game?
It was interesting, but different back then. There weren't many heroes. There weren't any events. Like I think the first event was Pirates, and it was released in October, maybe, or November. I'm not sure.
But how did you find Empires and Puzzles? How did you get involved in playing?
I don't remember honestly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just downloaded the game from the Google Play Store, and yeah, at the beginning I played quite casually, all by myself, and then in September I joined Diamond Infantry, which is my alliance even today.
Okay,
so
nice.
I have been in it for over 1,000 days.
Wow.
And I actually became the leader in February 2018. So yeah, I have been the leader for over 3 years.
So she's been in there for over 1,000 days. She's now the leader of Diamond Infantry. Dee has, in the April Ninja Tower, she placed 460th, so clearly in the top 500. In the Pirates event, she is twice placed high with a 50th place and a 43rd place.
53rd, yeah.
Yep, and her highest trophy count was 3146, so well into the 3100s in trophies. She has 31 maxed fives. And what I find interesting is she has a pile of mats that are unused at the moment. As of when she sent me the screenshot, she had 22 Damascus blades, 25 scopes, 9 mysterious tonics, 33 rings, 24 darts. 24 darts is a lot of darts, and 13 tabards. Now, Dee, the thing that I think makes your story the most fascinating, how much have you invested in this entire game?
Zero, nothing. I have never spent anything.
She has spent no money on this game. She is truly a free-to-play. She's like a unicorn in this game. It's so rare to find somebody who started so early in the game and is free to play. So she is the culmination of that slow, patient years of building and just playing casually and free, which I think is absolutely fascinating. So let's jump in and figure all this out. Well, let's figure out where you're at now, and then we'll go back and how you got there. So just on your home base map, are all your buildings done at this point?
No, I think I have 2 farms and 1 mine that I still need to take to level 10. But yeah, everything else is maxed.
All right, so you hear that, folks? You don't have to spend money advancing buildings, and you never even did the VIP. You never had the second builder or anything. This is absolutely fascinating.
Yeah, I haven't even done the friendly invites, so I have never had any VIP.
Okay, now how do you handle like Valentine's Day and the Mythic Titan? There's always you can buy a special for your alliance mates. So you just forego those as well?
Yeah, actually, the first share the gems offer was probably my worst moment in the game because I am the alliance leader and I really wanted to buy it, you know, to give something to my alliance mates. But also, it meant that I would no longer be free to play.
Right.
And yeah, it was already like 2 years into the game, and I was thinking that I have achieved everything without spending for almost 2 years. And if I spend now, I would no longer be free to play. So yeah, it was very tough. Like that was the closest moment when I was really when I was really tempted to buy it. And I apologized to my alliance mates, but they kind of felt guilty for me apologizing. So it was a bit difficult. Yeah, I don't like them. They are quite manipulative. To be fair, the gems are quite useful for me. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, sure.
It is still someone else's money, and I feel a bit guilty about it.
Well, I mean, we're all adults, so I think it sounds like your alliance recognizes and supports the quest that you're on, which is fascinating. And I
Yeah,
think those of us that do spend, when I obviously am pay to play, and when I get those deals to share with my alliance, I do that without any expectation of getting things in return. So I would hope most people are understanding of the position you're in, and I think it's fascinating. You must have willpower and strength that is unknown to most of us to resist the little specials and deals that pop up. So kudos to you for your strength on that, and I hope you can continue. And I mean, at this point, I would think you would. It sounds to me like you got over all of the worst parts of it. You
yeah,
have your teams built. You're obviously competitive at this point, and you've accomplished a lot with an account that has no money in it. Aye, aye, aye. This is really interesting. It was funny. I had a couple recommendations early on to interview a free-to-play player, and I was like, well, how do you find one that has actually accomplished things and would be willing to share their story? And the small giant forums are really good at pointing people out. So I think I was linked to, you have an extensive thread on being competitive in the challenge events and things that you've done. And so I'm glad that we were able to make this connection and talk about your life playing free to play. So let's jump in and talk about your roster a little bit. So how far can somebody go with a free to play account? So I know I mentioned the 31 max fives, but you also have a pretty healthy group of threes and fours.
yeah. I have 55 max 4 stars and 54 max 3-star heroes. But yeah, I'm still missing some really important heroes like Costume Gunnar, who is really key in events, but I
Yeah.
still don't have him.
Yep.
Yeah. And yeah, when it comes to 4 stars, I think I have the main ones.
You have
I
Wilbur.
have Wilbur, yeah, I have Falcon, I have Almor, I have Jakal. So yeah, I have all of the elemental defense down, 4-star heroes.
Yeah, it's interesting, when you talk to the pay to play crowd and they complain about the hero that they can't get. Like I'm always whining that I don't have costume Leonidas, and people are forever complaining they don't have Guardian Panther. These are the fruits that are very hard to pick, and here you are with a free to play account. You're like, I need Costume Gunner, the 3-star
Yeah.
hero. So it is definitely a more patient game that you're playing.
Yeah, actually, I got my first non-season 1 5-star hero 1 year and 9 months after I started playing. And honestly, I have no idea how I managed to do this. I don't think I have the patience today that I had 2 years ago.
A year and 9 months without a
Yeah,
non-season one 5-star. That is
yeah.
incredible. Um, so how do you stay steadfast? Like how do you avoid the temptation to get any of those deals? Have you ever been tempted besides the small giant guilt with the buy for your alliance mate? Has there been any other deals that you've been maybe?
Not really. Maybe when Alberich was featured in Atlantis Rises once. I kind of wanted to get him. He's still #1 on my wish list.
Hmm.
But yeah, it was not as tempting as the Share the Gems offer.
Right. All right, so let me ask you this, because people have got to be wondering. You have enough scopes here to do 4 heroes. You have tonics for at least 1. You have rings, you have 33 rings. I mean, you can do quite a bit. 5 fire heroes. You could do 24 darts. You can get another 6 holies and two dark heroes. So why are you sitting on so many mats when you can obviously get them leveled? What is the patience there?
I don't have the heroes to give them to. Basically, for the tabards, I would need to max Obakan without costume. So yeah, I'm really not willing to do that.
Okay.
For me, he is the worst 5-star hero in the game. And actually, I'm planning to ascend Justice, so that I have a slow yellow 5-star hero. But yeah, Elkanan and Obakan do not have a chance to get my mats. And the other option is to maximize duplicates, but I'm not really willing to do so, at least in this moment of time. Maybe I would max Elena in the future because I have her costume. But yeah, for me it is worth waiting rather than max mediocre heroes.
Yeah, you have a patience that I think is very unique. Because I see a lot of players, especially newer players, they get a hero and they level it, and they don't necessarily think as logically about holding on to those mats and waiting for a better choice. And it's tough. I get it that in the forums and on Facebook a lot, when folks are asking which heroes to max and everybody jumps on and says, well, do this or do that, or that hero is junk. It's like, well, you don't know their situation. If they don't have a lot of opportunities for heroes and they have 3, and these are the 3, maybe they do need to pick from those 3. But you're obviously willing to go, it seems, months, if not years, waiting for the right hero.
Yeah. For example, I got Alfrike this month, and I maximized her in like 45 minutes or something like that. So yeah, I'm really willing to do power leveling when I finally get a hero I want.
That is awesome. And congrats on Al Freak. She's an important hero for these,
Yeah,
especially for the Russian, um, the Russian very fast wars. And she actually is also really good in the events when we're building mana in different ways. Like I'm using Al Freaks in the Ninja Tower right now, and I've used them for some challenge events. So kudos on that pull. That was a good score. And how does a free to play player end up with Al Freak? What was the
um,
summons?
yeah, I was actually finishing the hard stages on season 3. I still haven't finished them. I just can't be bothered. No, I have enough world energy flasks, but it is quite time consuming, and I don't know, I feel like it is worth waiting. For example, in the future, there might be a better hero of the month that I want, and if I have the Valhalla coins now, I won't be able to resist and not make fools. And in the future, I won't be able to get Valhalla coins because what are these called? The Valhalla gnomes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That drop coins are just pathetic. So yeah, this is how I got Hofreke. I was finishing some stages, got enough coins to do a 1 pool, and I just got Hofreke, which was absolutely insane.
I cannot imagine. I spend healthy on this game, and I'm very enthusiastic when I get a 5-star. I cannot imagine what happens when you get a 5-star after waiting so long and being so patient. You get that one single pull. It's got to feel like a jackpot.
Yeah, you should have seen me when I got Hell, who was my first non-season 1 5-star hero. I started jumping around the room. It was so weird.
I hope you weren't in public somewhere.
No, luckily not.
So what are your best memories as a free-to-play player?
Yeah, maybe this is exactly my favorite moment when I got Hell the first time, but also when I got Mickey. maybe the two Mother Norths as well. But I have always wanted Owlberry more, but I actually have two Mother Norths,
Wow.
which is pretty weird. Yeah, I have two Hells and two Mother Norths, but I have so few unique heroes that it is weird. I have such duplicates.
Yeah, that's interesting. Most people would be excited just to get one Mother North or one Hell, and you got two of each.
Yeah,
So what do you
but
think has
I'm
been
lacking so many heroes.
so what do you
Sorry.
think has been the most difficult part of your journey being free to play?
The first month, the first year and 9 months without having a single non-season 1 5-star hero. Because I was only playing with season 1 uh, 5 stars, and I don't know, I was just feeling so unlucky and comparing myself to other people who have the best heroes. It was a bit difficult.
Yeah,
Yeah, nowadays it is much better. Like, I know that I don't have many of the heroes I want, but it is okay. I have the heroes I need, and I'm happy with that.
you have such a mature approach to this. I am I am way too immature and way too impatient to wait. So again, I don't know what you have in you, but it is something amazing to do that. You had made a comment in one of our emails when we were leading up to the interview about that there are things that the non-free-to-play players just don't realize about the game. So can you what share that perspective? What do you think the cheap-to-play and the pay-to-play players aren't realizing or appreciating about the plight of the free-to-plays?
I would say the gems. Basically, I'm getting like 170 gems per week. So yeah, that is 8,400 gems per year. So 130 pool is
Wow.
1 year of saving gems for the free to play, which is insane given how many players, spenders do a 30 pool every single month or even multiple times during a single event. But actually, for us, the free to play players, it takes 1 year of saving gems to be able to do that. And actually, I've never done it, and I'm not planning to because I can still get 3 and 4-star heroes without a single 5-star. And I think if I ever do a 30 pool and I don't get any 5-star heroes, I might as well quit the game. So yeah, I feel safer doing 10 pools. I'm currently saving my gems and I have around 6,000. I have been saving since October, I think.
So when do you think you'll be using those gems?
I haven't decided yet. Maybe in the season 4 portal when more heroes are released. But yeah, it is too early now.
Wow, that is incredible. You need to record that when you finally do your 10 pull. Record that and we can get that up. And we can share it with everybody. I think I'd be more
Yeah.
enthusiastic about your pulls than I am about my own.
Yeah, and the other thing that non-free-to-play players do not realize is the low tickets. There are not many free low
Loot tickets.
tickets that we get. Yeah, so farming is a bit of pain for me. Like, I don't really enjoy it anymore. It's the same bosses, the same mobs.
You don't auto farm?
I do, but yeah, only if I have a lot of time and patience, because I still have to click on my phone every like 2 or 3 minutes.
All right. Yep. Yeah, I'm well aware of that. I do tons of auto farming, so I get that. Um, so with being free to play and you saying you're only getting 170 gems per week, where are you finding those gems? Like where does a free to play look for gems?
Um, I don't know, Titans, chests, the Path of Valor, it gives 100 gems, I think. And then Elemental chests drop quite a few gems. So yeah,
That's
this
interesting.
is my only source of getting gems.
So I would imagine as a free to play player, even gem drops can get like exciting.
Yeah, I'm happy when I get 10 gems from the Titan rather than 5 or 2.
That is fascinating. It is almost on some levels like we're playing different games, or at least looking at the game in a very different way.
Yeah.
So let's talk about this craziness that you placed, 50th and 53rd in the Pirates of Legendary event. How does a free-to-play player place in the top 100 in one of these events? And we're not even talking about the rare or epic. You did it in legendary.
Yeah. I think I had the right heroes. I had Wilbur, I had Voltusk. Actually, I don't think I had Falcon when I finished 50th. It was in September 2018, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I used Isarnia. And on the next event, when I finished 53rd in October 2019, I think I already had Falcon, but I'm not sure. So yeah, I really had to utilize what I had. I had to be careful. I had to make moves fast. I used quite a few borrowed energy flasks, and yeah, quite a few items as well.
Yeah, that's being competitive in those events is costly as far as the number of weapons you can use, unless you're very particular on the boards, and costly in the world energy flags looking for those good boards. So that is a huge feat, I think, to place that highly in those events. So you had mentioned Guardian Falcon. So I'm curious, as a free-to-play player, how many of the elemental defense down heroes have you been able to grab?
I have Falcon, Jakal, Almor, and Nordri. So yeah, I don't have Panther, I don't have Frida, I don't have King Carter, I don't have C. Mariana or C. Leonidas.
Wow, that is interesting that you're placing well in these events, and you got 460th in the Ninja Tower without some of the higher level elemental defense down heroes. That's pretty incredible. Are you going mono when you go into the tower and the challenge events?
Almost. I use Mickey usually, at least in the higher levels.
Mm-hmm.
So I go for Reds and Mickey. But yeah, for the challenge events, it was in October 2019 when I finished 53rd. And honestly, I'm not sure I'll be able to do it today because I don't have C. Mariana, for example. But I haven't really tried being competitive recently. Like, it takes a lot of time and patience to be able to do that, and I do not always have that. And I need that competitive spirit that I do not always have,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
So
But
let's
yeah,
talk about your positioning guides.
yeah. So basically, I created the 5-star and 4-star heroes positioning guides because it is a big pet peeve of mine when I see a team with bad positioning.
Hmm.
Honestly, when I see Mother Knot on the right corner, I just go crazy. Especially when the team has like level 30 troops and the best heroes, and they have still placed Mother Knot on the right, and it is quite disappointing to see that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah, just like Magni in the corner.
Oh
Like
yeah.
so. Uh, yeah, people criticize. Every now and then, I'll get a critique on my ice team that I attack Fire Titans because I have Magni in the last spot. But that's because I don't care about the shared defense because the way I hit a Titan, I don't really worry about taking any hits. And to me, it's just about the firing order to make sure that I'm getting them in the right order. But I do notice that too when you go into a raid or a fight and you're like, that hero is helping out the allies on either side of them. Why are they in the corner?
Yeah.
But it happens. And then, like you're saying, the healers and resurrectors that are on the right side of the board, it's like they're missing the whole opportunity to revive them and get a chance in that same turn to potentially use them or to
Yeah,
even heal a team
absolutely.
before they get flying into something that reflects back at them.
Yeah, absolutely.
What about your, so if you haven't checked out her positioning guides, please check them out. They are incredibly helpful. It'll give you an idea of the best or the suggested best places to place the heroes in your lineup. Now, have you published those placement guides when there was only the standard raid formation? Have you
Yeah.
given consideration to looking at your guide now that we have these other 3 options for raid formations?
I don't think there is an easy way to do them and to adjust them to each raid formation. It would be a nightmare and quite time consuming. And
Yeah.
now that HG is constantly releasing new heroes, it's getting harder and harder to update the guides. So yeah, I have put it on hold for a while.
Yeah, it's complex, and I've done that with some of my own charts and things that I previously put out. It's what also gets a little frustrating is they constantly are buffing, and every now and then they'll nerf a hero, and it's like you got to go back and change any data that you had based on those heroes. So it can be very time consuming. I don't
Yeah,
think I don't think players out there sometimes realize how much those of us that produce content for the community, how much work goes in it in advance. But definitely a lot of brain power and time used to make these things happen.
yeah.
So free to play, and you're in charge of Alliance. Let's talk about that. How's the Alliance leadership going for you?
Actually, I did not want to be the leader. I I just woke up one morning and the leader had made me the leader and left the alliance. So basically, I was like, guys, are you okay with me being a leader? But yeah, I got used to it. When I became a leader, I think we were fighting 4-star titans, and we are now fighting 14-star titans. We are in the top 500. We are going often in the top 300.
That is
Our yeah.
that is awesome. And as a free to play player, that is super important to be killing those 14s. Are you killing 14s every day, or do you let some go?
We let some yellow titans go. This is our weakest cover because not many players in our alliance have Guardian Panther, and she's key for high results.
Mm-hmm. And I assume that you are a full alliance. You have 30 members.
Yeah, we currently have 30 members.
What do you do for recruitment?
I post stats on the forum and in the in-game chat. We don't actually use line or anything like that. So yeah, we are pretty, I don't know, conservative alliance, if I can say that.
Sure. Now, is there a lot of other free-to-play players in your alliance?
Yeah, there are 2 or 3 more free-to-play players, but most people spend, well, not that much, but yeah,
So
they're still not free-to-play.
the free-to-play players in your alliance, have they been playing as long as you, and are they as built up?
2 of them have not been playing for long, but yeah, I have one teammate who has been playing about the same time as me. Yeah, he's also doing very well.
Nice. That is excellent. Now, if somebody was interested in joining your group, what are the requirements to join?
Um, have enough heroes for war. Over 2,400 cups and sorry, and over 4,400 team power. So yeah, we are not overly picky when it comes to new members. Like, we are willing to accept a person who is still developing their roster, but they still need to be good enough in order to be able to fight our titans and participate in our wars, because we are facing some really tough alliances.
Yeah, and as you're growing, you're going to keep doing that. So congratulations on tussling with some of the big alliances with such a conservative group. Now, I'm curious, with a group like yours, and you're killing 14s most days, what is the minimum damage each player is expected to put into the Titan?
We don't really do that. Like, we encourage everyone to reach big rate, which is usually around 170, 180K.
Hmm.
But yeah, quite a few people are around 100K on the Titan. But yeah, we are holding flags when we are close to killing the Titan, so that more people can reach big rate.
So here's an interesting question, or something for you to consider maybe. You had mentioned being in the Alliance over 1,000 days. So you've never
Yeah.
left the Alliance to go merc or do anything like that?
No, no.
And I'm assuming based on your personality that the idea of leaving for even for a few minutes, I imagine that you're very proud of that 1,000+ day.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just thinking in my mind, if I was free to play, I've always merked just to go use Titan Flax and get some extra food and things. But a few months ago, when I joined 7 Days Ascended, my perception on merking has completely changed because I realize, like, I'm playing with players that are absolutely flag efficient, and these are pay to play players too. But if we kill a Titan and there's more than, like, say, 13 hours till the next Titan and they have a flag left, they'll leave just to go use that one flag because that is one extra chance for more food and iron. You get that chance for the gems, the chance for whatever. And if you add those single flags up almost every day over a year, that's a lot of other chances. But I could see how that wouldn't even be tempting for you because you're wildly patient and passionate about staying in your alliance, staying free to play. It is
Yeah,
your perspective on this game is pretty awesome.
thank you.
I
Yeah,
just
it's quite different from everyone else's.
yeah, I don't know. I think you're probably opening up a lot of eyes on what is possible. Uh, Unfortunately, I guess the big thing that current free to play or new free to play players can't get back is the time, because you were in almost at the beginning of the game, and that was a huge advantage, I think, as a free player.
Yeah, but also back then there were not as many free pools you could do. You only got epic hero tokens and gems. There was nothing else. No Valhalla, no Atlantis, no keys. No. So getting heroes was more difficult back then. I think that is one of the reasons I got my first non-season 1 5-star hero so long after I started playing, because there were not many portals with free coins or whatever where you could make as many pools as you can gather. I only had gems.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, and
it might be easier now for a free-to-play player to get more heroes. But yeah, I think it would be really difficult to be able to catch up.
yeah, and you know what? You're touching on something. That I think we have an interesting thing to talk about here, because I get in these conversations, and I don't know why I argue with people on the internet because it's pointless, but there is, I see this vibe every now and then where people complain about when Zynga bought Small Giant and how there's less 4-star Ascension materials and the loot is terrible and things are getting worse, worse, worse. But the reality, and this has been something I've been hyper aware of even as a pay to play, but I would imagine in your shoes as a free to play, you have to be aware that there's infinitely more places to get 4-star Ascension items now than there was the first 2 years of the game. Like, they've added so much content.
Yeah, yeah. But also they're adding many overpowered heroes, which is not very healthy for the game, in my opinion.
Yeah, not healthy, especially for the free to plays, because it's hard to keep up
Yeah.
with that power differential. But yeah, that's a different thing. Um, but even with the free to play account, some of the changes, like with the elemental chests, they moved to the Valhalla coins instead of Atlantis. So there is some chances to get, and I realize they're very small chances, but it's at least changing a little bit what opportunities are out there to get these things. I did a video on, there's 18 places to get 4-star Ascension mats in the game now, and YouTube viewers were quick to correct me and say, wait, you forgot this one, you forgot that one. So there's 20 some places that we can get 4-star Ascension mats. Actually, and that brings us to another question for a free to play account. You said that you still have a few buildings to complete. Have you finished the Alchemy Lab in the Hero Academy?
Yes, I have. I haven't researched everything in the Alchemy lab because I'm just using 3 levels and I don't really find it useful to research the rest, especially the last one, which require gems. They are absolutely worthless for me.
Yeah, you're
I
not
wouldn't
going.
spend gems there.
Yeah, I'm sure. Now, are you using the last level of the Hero Academy for the chance for changing 5 stars?
Yeah, I actually got my second hell from there.
So, with your account, the way you have it set up, are you excited when you get a second hell, or do you just kind of roll your eyes that you don't want a second hell?
I was excited actually. I mean, she's my favorite hero, so getting a second one is definitely welcome.
Okay. Have you had any other good surprising moments out of the Hero Academy?
No, not yet. I'm up to, I think, 24 retrainings, and I have only received 1 hero hell. So yeah,
All right.
hopefully I will get one soon.
All right. Well, I wish you luck in the future Hero Academy pulls. Now, some
Thank you.
players some players sit there with like TC20 and they let it accrue and then they go in and collect them all at one time. Do you do that or do you just collect them as they're ready?
When I was running TC20s, I was collecting them as soon as I got a hero. But I'm no longer running TC20. I have all season 1 5 stars, and it is just a bit worthless. I have many duplicates of all of them, so
Yeah,
it is just.
I never bothered with TC20 at all. Do you have so let's talk about how you're using the alchemy lab. So you're not obviously gemming to boost the alka shards, so your pace is probably a bit slower on alka shards. When you are able to trade them in, are you more excited about getting some emblems? Or are you more excited about the potential 4-star mats?
Um, I don't know. Maybe emblems if they're of a class I need. For example, wizard class currently, where I'm embleming Alfrika.
Hmm.
So yeah, I really need them. But yeah, I have only got 1 4-star mat from the Alchemy Lab. So yeah, I can't really decide whether I would choose, for example, 50 wizard emblems versus 1 ring.
All right. Yeah, choices. And I find that fascinating because every choice has to be very precious for you because you can only do it that one time and you're not going to spend the money to get a second chance.
Yeah.
Well, I find what you're doing really fascinating. If you think of it, when you get around to doing your 10 pull, I would love to put that up and share it if you have it. Um, Anything else that you want to talk about your accounts or your gameplay style?
I never spend gems in tournaments. You know, the 75 gems
Yep.
continue. It is not worth it for me because the best I can get is Epic Hero token, and I don't really care about mats if I don't have the heroes.
Right,
So
right.
saving the gems rather than trying to get mats for them is more worthy for me.
Wow, that's an interesting perspective. So do you finish most tournaments
I'm usually out on Thursday,
on
but
a third
sometimes
day?
yeah, but I usually manage to do quite well. I would say top 10, top 5%.
Nice.
Sometimes I finish in the top 50, which is not great. But sometimes I even manage to get in the top 1%, which is great.
Fantastic. Well, this has been super exciting to talk to you, and I'm really uh, happy that we're able to highlight a free-to-play player. So I appreciate you taking the time to chat with us today, and I guess we're going to see you on a battlefield soon.
Yeah,
All right, excellent. Enjoy your day.
thank you. You too.